Travis Barker is allegedly cheating on Kourtney Kardashian with someone who's barely older than his daughter, Alabama, who is only 19 years old.
Because he is cheating on me with some nasty Who? I don't know. This girl, I saw them. I saw it with my own
At the beginning of the relationship, I think like missing someone's.
And he was getting a blood transfusion, and I looked in his email, and I saw all the emails from all the women.
No one expected the newest Kardashian scandal to spiral this fast. But the moment a single blind item dropped online, it felt like the internet collectively paused and asked the same question. What if Kourtney Kardashian already knows the truth and is silently preparing for the fallout? Because this time, the rumor didn't hit like harmless gossip. It hit like a warning, a message, a pattern repeating itself in real time. And for the first time in years, fans aren't looking at Kourtney with judgment. They're looking at her with concern. It all began when Crazy Days and Nights quietly posted a blind item claiming a reality star was being cheated on by her partner with someone not much older than his daughter. That single phrase, not much older than his daughter, was enough for TikTok detectives to do the math within minutes. And the name that kept coming up wasn't some minor celebrity or random boyfriend. It was Travis Barker, the same Travis who built his comeback story on romance, devotion, and the image of a reformed man. The same Travis who publicly worships Kourtney, while privately carrying a history that suddenly feels a lot harder to ignore. But the real shock wasn't the rumor. It was what happened next. Fans started digging, pulling receipts, uncovering old interviews, old habits, old behaviors, and every piece snapped into place a little too easily. Suddenly, this wasn't a random accusation. It felt like a pattern resurfacing, louder than ever. And if the pattern is real, then the marriage might already be cracking. The entire storm really began with one anonymous paragraph, a blind item posted on November 10th. That should have faded into the background like millions of other celebrity rumors. But this one didn't fade, it detonated. It read, "This reality star, known by everyone, is being cheated on by her significant other with someone not much older than his daughter." No names, no details. Just enough information for the internet to take off at full speed. And once TikTok got hold of it, the guessing game lasted only a matter of hours before the comment sections were flooded with the same conclusion. Travis Barker. People weren't basing this guess on random speculation, they were connecting dots. Alabama Barker is 19. The rumor claimed the other girl was barely older. Add in the fact that Travis is married to one of the most visible women on the planet, and suddenly the blind item felt less like a vague hint and more like a direct shot. What really fueled the fire was how quickly old comments resurfaced. Of course it's him. He's always been like this. He literally wrote about cheating in his own book. These weren't new accusations. They were reminders. The speed at which everything aligned made the situation feel even more unsettling. Fans weren't shocked because they didn't expect drama. They were shocked because this time, the pieces came together too perfectly. The timing, the phrasing, the history, it all matched. It was as if the blind item had been written with Travis in mind. And once that connection was made, the internet didn't move on. It dug deeper. Once people connected the blind item to Travis, the conversation shifted instantly from, "Is this true?" to, "Why are we even surprised?" Because the reality is simple. Travis Barker has never presented himself as a man with a clean romantic history. In fact, he's done the opposite. His own memoir reads like a highlight reel of infidelity, not regretful, not reflective, but almost proud. He openly described cheating as if it were part of his personality, something woven into his identity instead of a mistake he grew from. Fans pulled out screenshots, quotes, and passages that reminded everyone just how chaotic his past really was. One of the most jarring revelations resurfaced from the aftermath of his plane crash. While he was recovering in the hospital, his emails were left open, and that's when everything spilled out. Years of conversations with different women, overlapping relationships. A tally of 13 girls in 1 year, written by Travis himself as if it were a tour milestone. Even before that, he admitted to cheating on his first wife before their wedding, during his bachelor party, and throughout their marriage. The stories weren't rumors. They were details he willingly shared. This is why the blind item didn't feel random. It felt familiar. Fans didn't need to craft theories. They simply revisited what Travis had already confirmed decades ago. The behavior, the chaos, the compulsive patterns, all of it had been documented by Travis long before Kourtney entered the picture. So when the cheating whispers resurfaced, many saw it not as a shock but as a continuation. As people kept digging into Travis's past. one storyline resurfaced faster than anything else. The chapter involving Kim Kardashian. It's the piece of history everyone tries to tiptoe around because of how uncomfortable it becomes when placed next to the current situation. Years before Travis ever dated Kourtney, he openly admitted in his memoir that he was obsessed with Kim while she was working as Paris Hilton's closet organizer. He described noticing her, talking about her, checking her out while he was still involved with Paris. It was messy then, and it's even messier now. Fans brought back interviews where Travis talked about telling his assistant how attractive Kim was. The timing, the context, the inappropriate fixation, none of it aged well. People reposted clips and quotes, reminding everyone that this wasn't a rumor created by tabloids. Travis wrote these things himself. He made them public, and the internet never forgets. The situation escalated years later when a rumor claimed he and Kim had hooked up. Kim denied it immediately and firmly, emphasizing she never crossed that line. But the implication alone was enough to create a long-lasting discomfort, especially considering that Travis is now married to Kim's sister, even without anything happening between them. The entire storyline adds another layer of tension to an already tangled family dynamic. And in the context of the new cheating allegations, people are looking at this old chapter with fresh eyes, not because it directly proves anything, but because it reinforces a pattern. Impulsiveness, temptation, boundary issues, attraction spilling into places it shouldn't. With all of that resurfacing, fans started asking a new question. If this happened before, what's really stopping it from happening again? As the rumors gained momentum, fans began revisiting old episodes of the Kardashians. Not for drama, but for clues. And one moment kept resurfacing over and over again. The infamous race scene between Kourtney and Travis. At the time, most viewers brushed it off as quirky couple energy. But through the lens of everything happening now, it hits very differently. Kourtney wasn't prepared for the run. She wasn't dressed for it. She wasn't physically ready. She even said she had planned to lie down and breastfeed baby Rocky instead. But Travis insisted they race anyway. From the very start, Kourtney was struggling. She repeatedly said she only does 2-minute intervals and wasn't capable of running the full stretch. She asked for water. She tried to slow down. She asked for a moment to breathe. And every single time, Travis held her hand tightly and kept pulling her forward like her pace didn't matter at all. He barely looked back to see how she was doing. For him, it was a fun challenge. For her, it looked uncomfortable and overwhelming. When fans rewatched the scene after the cheating allegations came out, the comments completely shifted. People no longer saw a supportive partner encouraging his wife. They saw someone who ignored her cues, her discomfort, her physical limits. Someone who wanted control more than connection. Someone who set the pace and expected her to follow no matter how she felt. And suddenly, the moment didn't feel like harmless TV. It felt like a warning sign we all missed the first time around. Just when fans expected to see tension spill into the public eye, Kourtney did something no one predicted. Instead of going quiet or posting something vague and cryptic, she released a full-blown love letter to Travis on November 14th, right in the middle of the cheating allegations circulating online. It wasn't a short happy birthday, babe caption. It was long, emotional, overflowing with praise. She called him grateful, real, dedicated, the leader of their family, and even said being his wife was an honor. The timing was so bizarre that it immediately sparked debate. To some fans, it looked like damage control, a PR buffer, a way to silence the conversation without acknowledging it directly. They argued that Kourtney knew exactly what was happening online and wanted to project stability, control, and loyalty before the narrative got worse. Others believed the opposite, that Kourtney genuinely had no idea what people were saying and was simply posting from a place of love, unaware of the chaos unfolding in the comments. But the contradiction didn't stop there. Around the same time, fans pointed out that her behavior on the show, her tone in interviews, and her energy in public appearances felt strained and distant. This is what made the love letters so unsettling. It didn't match her body language in real life. It didn't match the tension people were seeing. It felt polished, curated, almost too perfect. And when a relationship looks flawless online but fractured everywhere else, people start asking what's real and what's being performed. The confusion around Kourtney's emotional state only grew stronger when Kris Jenner's 70th birthday photos dropped. The whole family was there, dressed up, smiling, presenting the polished image they've mastered for years, except Kourtney. She stood stiff, unsmiling, almost disconnected from the entire moment. Fans immediately noticed she wasn't hiding her exhaustion or frustration. while everyone else managed at least a forced smile. Kourtney looked like she was somewhere else entirely, mentally and emotionally. Screenshots of the photos spread across TikTok and Reddit, with people asking the same questions. Why does she look so unhappy? Why is she the only one not smiling? What's really going on behind the scenes? It didn't look like someone having an off day. It looked like someone carrying something heavy, something she didn't bother disguising even for a milestone family event. This moment hit even harder when fans remembered an insider report from 2024, claiming Kourtney had slowly isolated herself from everyone when she fully committed to her relationship with Kravis. The report said she distanced herself from old friends, long-term connections, and even parts of her family. At the time, people thought it was exaggerated. Now, the photos made it feel like a painful confirmation. What made the whole thing even more complicated was that her public praise of Kravis didn't match her energy at home or with her family. The disconnect was impossible to ignore. And suddenly, fans weren't just questioning the cheating rumor, they were questioning the entire foundation of the marriage. If Kourtney looks this unhappy in a room full of loved ones, what does that say about what's happening behind closed doors? As the rumor kept evolving, the conversation took an even sharper turn, one that shifted the focus from speculation to something far more serious. People began whispering that Kourtney wasn't just hearing the rumors. She had found something she hasn't shown publicly, something that allegedly contradicts where Kravis claimed he was on a specific night. And once that theory started circulating, the internet didn't let go. This was no longer about a blind item. It became a story about hidden receipts, quiet planning, and a woman deciding how or when to reveal the truth. The speculation comes from sources close to the situation, claiming Kourtney stumbled across something unexpectedly. A message, a screenshot, something small on the surface, but big enough to make her pause and rethink everything. Fans believe her strange social media behavior, her distant expressions in public, and her overly affectionate post on November 14th weren't contradictions. They were strategy, a way to keep the peace until she decides how to move. What makes this theory so believable is that Kourtney has always been the Kardashian who holds her cards close. She doesn't react impulsively. She doesn't lash out first. She waits. She plans. She protects her image and her children before she protects anything else. So if she really is holding something, she wouldn't expose it casually. She would wait until the timing hits the hardest. And that's what fans are watching for now, not the rumor, but the reaction. Because if she truly has proof, then this marriage might be seconds away from collapsing in real time. When you step back and look at everything together, the timing of the blind item, Travis's documented history, the resurfaced Kim situation, the uncomfortable show moment, the conflicting birthday posts, the tense family photos, and the whispers that Kourtney may be holding something privately, the picture becomes a lot harder to dismiss. This isn't just drama, it's a pattern. A story playing out almost exactly the way fans feared it would when this relationship first became public. And the more pieces that fall into place, the more it feels like something big is building behind the scenes. What people can't stop asking now is simple. How long can Kourtney keep balancing the public image she's built with the reality she might be living? Because every sign points to a woman under pressure. A woman protecting something, a woman who looks exhausted in her family photos while posting love letters online. And whether that contradiction is strategic or emotional, it's becoming impossible to ignore. The truth is, Kourtney has been through messy relationships before. She's dealt with complicated partners, loyalty issues, and emotional chaos. But this situation feels heavier, not because the rumor is more shocking, but because it lines up with a past Kravis has already admitted to. Fans sense it. The family senses it. And deep down, Kourtney might sense it too. So now the world is waiting. Not for more rumors, but for her next move. Because if she really does have the receipts people believe she's been holding, the entire narrative could shift overnight.